So looking at the three graphs that you're given, we have graph A, graph B, and graph C. Go ahead and write down some observations you might have. So pause now and write down some observations. Some things you might have noticed are that graph A is a positive slope, but it goes through a negative number on the y-axis. You might notice on graph B, it's a negative slope, but goes through a positive number on the y-axis. You might notice that graph C is a zero slope and goes through a positive y on the y-axis. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Kind of funny, but somebody once told me that to remember the order it goes in is that it's your mama's ex-boyfriend. Y equals mx plus b. Funny. So we're going to graph the following lines on a set of axes below. For number one, we first need to solve for y. So 3y equals 12x minus 21. You might have room on the side of your paper where I don't have it on here. We need to just divide everything by 3 so that we can solve for y. By doing that, our equation in slope-intercept form is y equals 4x minus 7, because 12 divided by 3 is 4 and 21 divided by 3 is 7. So the slope of this one, the slope is your m. Y equals mx plus b. So the slope is always the m. The m in this equation is 4 or 4 over 1. And then we're going to look at what is the y-intercept. The y-intercept is always the b. So the y-intercept, because that's minus 7, your y-intercept would be negative 7. So notice the word intercept. Intercept means crossing through. It's intercepting the line. So since it's the y-intercept, that's where it crosses the y-axis. So negative 7 is where it crosses the y-axis. So we put a point on negative 7 on the y-axis. Then our slope tells us our rise over run. Since it's positive, then you're going to go up 4 from that point we just put down. So 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. So up 4 over 1. And we're going to do that as many times as it takes to fill the graph we're given. And there is our equation. We could have made a table and plugged in numbers for x to find y and then plotted those coordinate points. Or we can just look at the y-intercept and the slope and graph accordingly. So again, we need to solve for y. So I have negative 2x minus 8y equals negative 24. We're going to add 2x to both sides. So now I have negative 8y equals 2x minus 24. Divide everything by negative 8, and y equals negative 1/4 x plus 3. Please notice that I have a positive 2 over negative 8, which reduces down to negative 1/4. And I have a negative 24 divided by negative 8, which reduces down to positive 3. So now let's look at our equation, which became y equals negative 1/4 x plus 3. So our y-intercept, that is the number, that is the b. Our y-intercept is positive 3. Our slope is negative 1/4. So we need to plot our y-intercept. Y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis, and this one is positive 3, so we put a point at positive 3. Notice how our slope is negative. All that means is we go down instead of up. So we're going to go down 1/4. So from that point, we go down 1/4. That's the only point I can do from going left to right. In order to fill up our entire grid, we might have to work backwards. So instead of going down 1, we're going to go up 1. And instead of going right 4, we will go left 4. And there is the only line that we can put on there. The next two, we're going to be looking at a line that's already given and write an equation. So we need to find the m, and we need to find the b. The b is the easiest one. That's the y-intercept. It crosses the y-intercept at 4. And the m to the next point is right here, and the same backwards. It goes down 3 over 4, so negative 3 over 4. Now we're going to write the entire equation. Y equals, so positive 4 is our y-intercept, and negative 3 over 4 is our slope. So there's our entire equation. We're going to look at this one. You might notice that there's a point over here. We're going to do something with that point later. But first we need to find what is the b and what is the m. So the b is where it crosses the y-axis. This crosses the y-axis at 6. To find the m, we have to find where else does it cross perfectly on coordinate points. And this one has quite a few to choose from. This one, it goes up 2 over 1, which is the same thing as 2. So y equals 2x plus 6, and that is our entire equation. Where this point comes in is if we plug the point to negative 2 in, would it be true? So negative 2 in for y and positive 2 in for x. So is negative 2 equal to 4 plus 6? Negative 2 is not equal to 10, so this point should not be falling on that line.